Today I'm going to show you how you can get started on the running stitch on the outside of your letters. So to get started, the first thing that you need to make sure is that your piece of paper is stapled to your burlap in the four corners and that it's nice and flat. Okay. The second thing is you're going to need to get a piece of yarn. So you can pick any color that you would like. I'd recommend the length being about half of your wingspan. It doesn't need to be super long, but long enough that you can do some stitching around your letters without running out too quickly. Now, so that your yarn doesn't go all the way through your burlap, you're going to need to knot one end of your yarn. So I'm simply going to do a knot. Now this isn't going to be big enough because the holes on the burlap can be pretty large. So you're going to want to knot this about 3, maybe even 4 times. Okay, and you want the knot to end up on top of itself so that that knot gets bigger. Okay, so now it's a pretty good size knot. Now at the other end, I'm going to thread my needle. Now it's sometimes hard to just try and stick this end through the eye of the needle. So what I like to do is I will bend this over, kind of make it really tight and small in my fingers. And then I just use that tiny little bit to kind of start working that through the eye of the needle, and then I'll pull the rest through. So you can see that I've already started my running stitch. That's fine. It's the same as if you haven't started at all. But know that you always want to start on the back side. And so I'm actually not even going to look at the back. I'm just going to bring my needle to the back. And I'm going to just have to kind of feel on the top and poke through from the back side to wherever I want to start. You can start at any point on your letter. And now you're going to be doing the running stitch, which is kind of like a dashed line. And so you want to make sure that you have your stitches approximately the same length, okay, and also the same space in between each stitch. So you want them kind of close. You don't want the stitch too long or too short, kind of a good in between. And you're always coming up from the back and then going down on the front. So notice I'm always looking at the front. I never really flip it over going back and forth. And you pull it tight until you can't pull anymore. So again, I kind of feel with my fingers on the top, poke through, and then go through that stitch on the back. So it's going to look the same on the back side. I do have some knots here, but it'll basically look like a running stitch on the back side. You'll have all your knots on the back. And once we have finished doing the complete running stitch, we will be taking this paper off, so it's not going to stay. So you're going to continue doing that running stitch all the way around. You can start at any point on your letter. You just want to make sure that they are about the same length, same width apart, so that it looks nice and even when you're finished.